It is Cigar Saturday here on bourbonblanc.com. It's Matty Rock. I'm Tom Fischer, and joining us, uh, well-known designer, artist, and so much more. We're going to talk about all the great things he's done and that he's doing. It's Jeremy Madl, founder of Mad Toy Design. And how's everybody doing?
Great. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Oh, it's so phenomenal to have you here. Maddie was just asking you a question about well, what were you asking him? I wanted to even tell that story. Let's hear let's hear the story.
For when I get to make everyone laugh at me, like when I get to fanboy and stuff, I'm like, one of my forays of going and collecting art is Mr. Madl right here. So we've talked on many episodes. Out of our over 100 episodes, we talk about obviously since we do here is artisan and artistry behind it, whether it's in a cigar, whether it's in fine spirits, or art in its regular form. What helped bring me into the art world and piqued my interest 2 decades ago. And, I get to be a little fanboy Looney Tune because Jeremy's stuff and the original people that came to the business that was able to take their art and make it applicable to the vinyl world. And what that means to a lot of people who aren't my art people that are out there, it gave a platform to have collectible pieces from amazing artists in an affordable format. So if someone said, "Hey, Matt, I know you love that painting we gave me, but the kidney you sold us for this thing's a little bit fucking wrecked. Apparently you hadn't quit drinking in time for that. So is there a refund?" I'm like, "No, I'm sure that kidney was fine." So, this gave you now the platform to be able to buy affordable vinyl pieces and have the artist creation available to you to enjoy. It's not something that, you had to mortgage your house for or miss a car payment, and really get to enter that foray into the world. So right before we went on, folks, we were talking about, so all my Kidrobot fans out there, we were talking about how that was part of the evolution of the art world when it came to vinyl. You know what? Jeremy's a very modest guy, but it's people like Jeremy and Huck G and Frank Kozik that really made those kind of things possible.
Oh, yeah.
Brought that to the forefront where you got to see this not only explode, but the interest all over the world for vinyl pieces. And here you are 20 years later and bigger than ever. I mean, I think free, right? I mean, it's beyond huge. It's become such an important part of a collector's portfolio instead of, just like I said, just instead of murals, instead of everything else. And because all different walks of folk can now go out there and have affordable pieces of art that they can appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I came into the scene, I'm a toy designer by trade. I mean, I used to work for all the big companies as a contract, designer, inventor, that kind of thing. And when the vinyl world was just starting to come to life over in Hong Kong, through my research, I was seeing these things, and I'm like, seeing them in magazines. That's how old I am. And going, I can't read what's in here, but that looks awesome. I want to get into this. And, started developing my own platform and concept. And, was, I think, really fortunate and lucky that I got into it early enough that, like you said, some of the first people here in the States, and I got in on that. And once it started going and I produced the models and got those out, then it really started snowballing and working with companies like Kidrobot and other companies. And once that happened, I mean, it just kind of took off, and I've been hooked ever since. I'm still making toys, not only professionally, but on the side as my art as well. So.
Incredible. And we should pop up some of the photos, some of the recent. I'll do that in a moment off of Instagram, but I'll just tell everybody, take a moment and share this, retweet it, reshare it, all those great things. Ask questions of Jeremy. Would there be some toys early on that you worked on that we might have played with or be familiar with or seen?
So when I first I went to college for toy design. So when I first got out of college, some of the stuff I did was like, Disney infant preschool toys. And then I got into an environment where I was doing a ton of like fast food toys for Taco Bell and Wendy's and Pizza Hut and companies like that. And it wasn't really satisfying me, so I kind of moved on from that and really dived into the art toy thing. I think as far as like mass market toys, I was actually the producer and designer of some of the very first Minecraft toys, which really took off and exploded and got me into, from a commercial standpoint, doing a lot more video game based collectibles and stuff like that. But all the time I was doing that, I was still doing my art stuff on the side and pushing my own brand. So
yeah. Very nice, very nice. And again, I'm going to bring up a couple of the newer designs. I even saw that you had posed some of your toys with some bourbon bottles. I saw.
Yeah, right before earlier today when I finally got the link, so yeah, here's a little snapshot behind the desk. It's like a fraction of what I have. A lot of my stuff is in storage because moved my studio home this past year, and I just don't have the room for it all. But yeah, these are some of the new little model citizens. It's so I stood him in front of my bourbon collection and was like, hey, I'm going to talk to these guys and want to show them off. But this is kind of the evolution of my very first platform. So these are the models. The idea is it's a platform. So it's a single shape, basic shape. And then we decorate it a bunch of different times, add accessories, stuff like that. So when I started working with this new company, UVD, on the model citizens, I wanted to take, this is 20 years old now. This year is the 20th anniversary of the models. So I wanted to kind of take it and put a new spin on it, like what happens if they grew up. So we've created a whole bunch of different styles and they're more sculpted at this point, different features, again, just kind of what they look like a little bit older. And these have been doing really great. They're a ton of fun to work with. I've done a bunch of exclusives for different shops and stores around the world, and we've got a lot of high hopes for what's to come,
Nice.
as well as bringing back the originals. Where I'm working with these guys to kind of recreate and make the models a thing again, which is going to be really fun.
There we go. I'm going to pop up a few pictures. There's the photo you did with the bourbons. Now, if somebody wanted to get,
Yes.
There we go. One of these, where would they find it? Where could they find this?
So, shameless plug, you can go to madtoystore.com. I do have some APs that I sign and hand number. They're available there. Otherwise, you can go to UVD Toys, My Plastic Heart, Rotofugi. I mean, just about anywhere that sells vinyl toys probably is carrying them right now. So Tenacious Toys there in New York, they've got a bunch of them. So they're pretty much available everywhere. But if you want signed ones, you got to come to me.
Popping some. Oh, look at this. That's where you look at. I love these. These are great.
And
so
Tom,
madtoystore.com.
And boy, Jeremy knows I may or may not have already just picked up the new one off from No Love City because I'm a shameless fanboy and I don't care. No, I just had to say it.
No, I noticed the other day you rocking your No Love City sweatshirt. So I've been teaming up with Josh on a few of these things. So this is one of my more famous characters called the Skin Deep, and I've done a Dunny with him. I've done vinyl toys. They also did. This is another new character of mine called the Mad Spray Can that I did with Martian Toys. So this is the Skin Deep edition. It's got an actual real bandana. Got a rattle ball inside. But the idea of this character is, he's what happens when your art box mutates into this crazy kind of characters. So No Love City, those guys are great. It's been a lot of fun working with them on those projects.
Excellent.
People, man, that I'm gonna have Travis on one day from Beauty Toys, and like I said, all good people, because you could see where the really where the passion and everything comes in, because like I said, this isn't new. This is something that everybody's working together on these things and bringing it together and bringing it back to life. So for me, I couldn't be happier or giddier because I have stuff that, like I said, goes back just about 20 years. I have his Dunnies. I have the Phase 3, the 5, the mad stuff. I have Booyah Ghosts. You laughed. I have Kidrobot actually did a foray with the artists and with Swatch. So Jeremy's, holy crap, where'd you dig one of those out of? I'm like, what do you mean dig it out of? I'm like, I was wearing it that day. I don't like that. You not geek with your Swatch. I'm like, I don't care. I'm shameless. It doesn't matter.
The Swatch project was a dream. Like, as a kid, I remember my grandfather actually bought me one of the very first colorways of a Swatch. And like, I was probably 8 or 9 walking around the neighborhood like, yo, check this out. It was red, yellow, and blue. And like, it was the old school one. And when that project came out, they were like, would you want to do something with them? And I'm like, yeah, of course. So I submitted a bunch of designs, and the crazy thing is, as an artist, you always want to try and make your presentation like balanced. So you've got, an even number of designs. So at the very last minute, I threw in a hot pink one, and sure as hell, that's the one they picked, because I am not a pink kind of person. Most of my stuff is black and white. But it was amazing because they ended up picking that design as the kind of key shot for the global marketing campaign. So I got to go to stores all over, a signing tour all over the world for them, and seeing your art like huge. It was actually on a billboard in Times Square. They had the whole store wrapped in my graphics, and it was just, it's one of those things where it's like, you don't think you can top it, but it was a cool experience for sure. In my graphics. Glad to see you still got it too.
Oh yeah, man. And like I said, how you said you rocked it with your grandfather. I'm a shameless son of a. I rock that shit now. Like, what do you wear? I'm like, Swatch, baby, night. And I'm like, with all the watches, and I'm like, the amount of joy I get out of the art aspect of it, it'll never die. And again, it goes. And like, these are the 4. What Jeremy did is the beginning, but I have my Bape Swatch and everything else. But I remind people, I'm like, that's all cool and badass, but remember the guys who brought it out there first. Because people go, oh, there's Tristan and there's Bapes. I'm like, look, man, don't make me school you, bro. I'm like, we'll go to the Matty Rock school. We'll check this out. Of course, we have Mr. Sanj wanting to say howdy-o.
Hi, guys.
What's up, man? Nice to see you.
What's happening, Sanj?
Just working. I'm fasting, so I'm a little busy. My holy month.
Okay. You fast until what time then? Is it till
Well, I could eat any time, but just once a day.
Once a day.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Very good.
How you doing, Tom? Everything good?
Good. Yes, I'm having one of. I think it's one of the industry killers I'm having right now. I'm really enjoying it.
Nice.
Oh.
Very nice.
When you're done, Jeremy,
14.
keep you out. We'll send some of these over.
Yeah, all kind of good sticks. We're going to be seeing you, Sanj, here in a little less than a month. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, less than a month.
Yep. For those of you that don't remember watching, remember April 2nd at Handsome Devil, 2nd annual cigar charity cigar barbecue. So looking to see you. There's still a couple of tickets left. You have any questions, reach out to myself, Sanj, Tom, or Mr. Ed Randolph, and we'll keep you up with those details. So far, about 70% of the tickets are gonzo. So make sure you hit us up. Great charity event for great causes, guys and gals.
That's where the link is, right there, bourbonblog.com/tickets. It goes right to the place. We're looking forward to raising more good fun, some wonderful cigars, whiskeys, barbecue, a little bit of. It can't get much better than that, can it?
Well, I heard Sanj is going to be doing belly dancing and singing Sinatra.
Well, then it can get a little. Is it better? I think it's a little better. Yeah, with him belly dancing. Yes, of course.
No, so it's one of those things you kind of have to show up and judge for yourself, right?
Yes.
Good.
We're looking forward to it.
I'd be curious to. I was going to say I'd be curious to try some of that New Jersey barbecue. Coming from Kansas City, I've got pretty high standards. So
and we've spoken about it. So the joke was when you came to New York, 15, 20 years ago, everyone goes, Matt, where do we have barbecue? And the joke was not here. And then they're like, well, did you go to Virgil's in the city? And I'm like, you mean by Broadway to go get barbecue? I'm like, yes, but that wasn't barbecue. But Matt, it's called Virgil's Barbecue. I'm like, well, okay, for New York City, sure, it's good. There are some indeed some smoked cured meats on a plate. So what's happened here, the evolution in the last 10 years is all these guys really bought their barbecue game in here. To a guy I've spent, most of my life traveling on the road. And just like you said, I would tell people, I'm like, I will take any day at a KC Masterpiece in Kansas City than any place that really calls itself a barbecue joint in the Northeast. Like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm like, I looked online. It's fast food. I'm like, I'm going to tell you again. I can promise you for what you think is fast food. I'm like, KC Masterpiece. I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Jeremy. It's still the same family. I think, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Oklahoma. Well, it used to be called Oklahoma Joe's. Now it's called Joe's KC. Is supposed to be the best in town. My personal favorite is actually some friends of mine have a food truck that they run their own, barbecue joint out of a food truck basically, and it is hands down my favorite. Those guys are awesome. They've got like different types of sauces. Their hot sauce, you can literally put it on anything. It's delicious. But yeah, when I lived in California, everybody was like, "Oh, you're from Kansas. You got to try this barbecue place." And it's just nothing. I stopped going after a while. It was just like, nah, I'm good.
You're not making a face, and it's like, oh, my disappointed face hurts after a while. Yes, and it's like, oh. Yeah. So now I know where I'm hitting when I go to Kansas. But when you come here, just for dinner tonight, we went out to a place we've actually had on the show. We had Robert Austin Cho who actually battled Bobby Flay, and he has kimchi smoke out and what. So when you see what they've been able to bring here to New Jersey to up the game of stuff from literally from nothing to something, then we have our brother Ed Randolph up the road in New York State, and you see what they're able to do with briskets and dry rubs. And then my boy who just popped in below, who's one of the Burger Kings and barbecue boys of the world, we got our boy Sean Keever over there.
Yeah,
guys were able to bring to the table that was never here, because with all of New York and New Jersey's great food, I can promise you it wasn't it. So I'm so happy that these guys brought the noise, and I eat like a savage. Like, to me, every day is the Last Supper. So every day it's like, are you going to hybrid? Like, how about we mind our own damn business? Let Husky Aquaman be Husky Aquaman, and that's
yeah. Sean saying he's had good pizza in Kansas City and good barbecue in New York, and he's saying his favorite in Kansas City is Fox and Pearl.
Fox and Pearl is good, definitely good.
Yeah, I mean,
do I have a favorite?
No.
Other than this food truck guy that I've been going to, Arthur Bryant's. It's hands down is. I started going there as a kid. My pops used to take me there, and it was in a pretty shady area. They had bars on the windows, but you'd walk in and it looked like some kind of greasy dive diner, and there's photos of presidents on the wall, and you'd walk up to the glass plate and you'd hand them your tray. They'd put a piece of wax paper down, half a loaf of bread, and slop on like just a massive pile of meat. And not a lot of people like their barbecue sauce because it's a bit on the spicy side, but I mean, I can drink it straight out of a bottle. I love that stuff. It's my favorite.
You're talking about Kansas City. I mean, that's Kansas City legend. When you go there, you're going Arthur Bryant's. I mean, it's just, if you're on your barbecue game, about 70 years old now, it's old.
Yeah, at least. I mean, and now it's all fancy when you go in. It's they've got like a proper restaurant where you can sit down and there's waiters and stuff. But my first exposure to it when I was a kid was it was like you got your food to go kind of a place. It was pretty good.
Well, it's funny when they see me coming, they put the bars back on the window. It's really weird. I'm like, hey, all right, I get it. But yeah, when it comes to great barbecue, I mean, Kansas City is just an incredible place for it. And you think Kansas City, you think Texas, you go out to St. Louis, the Carolinas. But again, what this area's been able to bring to the table the last couple of years, you got over in Brooklyn, you got Billy over in Brooklyn. Like I said, it's just the evolution of it has been awesome, and it was always something that we were missing.
How you doing? I looked to you earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think each region has their own flavor and style. Like, I've gone to Memphis, I've gone to Texas, and you know, it's just, I think it depends on what you prefer. You know, there's different flavors. I mean, even Chicago, I'd say, has some pretty good pizza, or, you know, pretty good barbecue, if you find the right spots. But I'd love to come to New York and give your guys' brand a try.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, like I said, brother, you're always welcome. We'll make sure you have a good tour. We'll take good care of you, my man. So we will go out and have some barbecue, and we'll get the lowdown on what you think.
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
Well, give it my critique.
Sorry,
see a lot of good people coming in. Anders, Sean, David, thanks everybody who's tuning in. Everybody share this video.
I think I'm having some internet issues. 1 second.
It's all right. We'll give him a moment.
Sorry about that, guys.
Now what are you smoking and sipping on there, Matty? What are you having? You're having the SP 1014?
Yep. So I'm doing my SP 1014 as usual. Like I said, I love it. The draw on those Lanceros is just incredible. Jeremy, we're going to send over to you so you could try them out. So it's the new line for lost Jeremy for a sec. I see the
we'll re-add him here in just a moment. I'm sure it'll take just a moment. I'm having one of the industry killers, and I'm also having one I haven't had for a while, Copper and Kings. They make a really wonderful brandy in Louisville, Kentucky. This one is an apple brandy that's been finished in sherry casks. It's called the Floodwall, and it's amazing. So
I'm making a vintage, about 37 minutes ago, vintage McDonald's sweet tea. Because I leave the adult beveraging to you there. So I would say it's a fine vintage. I got it 37 minutes ago, but I believe it may be 2 hours aged.
Yeah. It looks.
Bring my iced tea snifter with me, so we can't really go into the proper breakdown and bouquet.
It looks good, and we're glad to be back. Last week we were traveling. I was in Palm Springs, California. We were raising funds for St. Jude Children's Hospital, pouring whiskey there at the Warburton Celebrity Golf Tournament, which was pretty amazing. Got to see Alice Cooper and Mike Mills of REM, a bunch of great people we poured some whiskey for, and they raised $4 million in 4 days. We were glad to be part of that.
If it wasn't for St. Jude's, I'd curse you out, because you know what you left me, Tom? You left me in the snow.
I know. I wish we could have brought you. What were you up to last week? In the snow? You were in the snow? Just in snow.
There's nothing. We did have one 70-degree day. Then Mother Nature went on her methamphetamine fit again and went right back to 30 degrees and snow. So wasn't loving it, brother.
Crazy. It was great weather, of course, in Palm Springs. Not as warm as usual, but we could see some snow. That's what always happens there. If you look up in the mountains, you can see just a little bit of snow. I think we may have him again. Can you hear us, Jeremy? Okay.
Much like AC/DC said, back in the saddle again.
It's choppy. Like I was saying earlier, we've got some. Yeah, I apologize. We're having some crazy weather tonight, so my connection's.
We can hear you. Can
Hopefully
you hear us? Okay.
Itself. So.
You can hear us all right,
yeah.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right, good.
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
Yeah, sorry about that.
He's back. Yeah.
Keep yourself safe. You know what's happening now? The gods of Kansas barbecue heard us talking about like possibly New York barbecue, and the Kansas gods are like, no. There's storm and everything. Like, you will not.
That could just be what happened.
Yeah, you gotta love the. Say that again. Sorry,
Jeremy. You're having the which bourbon are you tasting there?
So I am. I got turned on to the Widow Jane a few years back, and it just started popping up in Kansas City, and I was instantly hooked. It's definitely one of my top fives. I mean, I could drink that stuff almost too much, too easily. The price keeps me from doing that, but I mean, like I was telling you before, I had a good friend of mine that was a whiskey genius for Knob Creek, and he was having a kid and asked me to do a mural in his son's room. And every day I showed up for work, he had a whole nother bottle for me. He was like, yeah, try this one, take this one home, go, so I amassed quite a large collection pretty quickly. And, I've been drinking, I stopped drinking beer probably 15 years ago, and have just been bourbon. If I'm drinking, I'm just, why beat around the bush? Just get to the point. You know.
Yeah, no, I like the Widow Jane a lot. They do some great products there. They have some called also the Heirloom Collection of some of their own corn from upstate New York, the Bloody Butcher and several others. They do a beautiful job there in Brooklyn and really growing corn across New York. I'm a big fan of New York bourbons, actually, in a big way. New York whiskeys just have something very unique about the terroir, the grain. So that is one I really love.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. I've got a few other ones in there that I dabble in every now and then, but you know, like I said, this is pretty much my go-to these days. It's just nice and smooth.
All right, so we bring Jeremy when we have a cigar and bourbon event, so we know what the palate likes. All right.
Yes. Oh
But
yeah. We'll make sure we get
if
stuff.
if you ever need any live painting during some of the events, I will work for booze and cigars and a trip. I have no shame.
April 2nd's around the block, but we'll have other stuff come up. And here at Sanja's shop, one of the upcoming artists who you probably have already heard of, he's local. I'm going to see if he's actually in the shop now. His name is Mario Pena. And if you take a look at, I don't know if you're familiar with Mario and his work, but Mario's artwork is right here on the
awesome
14 band. And again, Mario's done a foray into vinyl as well. Like I said, he was excited that you're going to be on the show as well, because again, we know you always have to pay homage to the people who helped bring that stuff out. Because you watch, and when you talk about vinyl art or street art or anything else, you look at the progression of people who helped bring forwards. So when it started, you went to Dondi, you watched all the people who were part of that Dondi scene. Then you got up to Ram LZ, and you watched people who came up to the Ram LZ with the acrylics and everything else. And then you watched people like Jeremy bring people to the next generation with vinyl arts and everything else. And that's where Tristan started popping up and everything else. And we actually have Mario sitting here right behind us now. He's going to say a quick hello. So, New Jersey on Mario.
Hey, Mario.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you, man. You got some awesome stuff out there, man.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to check your stuff out for sure. Matty will have to send me a link. I'll start checking it out.
Every artist's dream to get one of their toys done out of their artwork. So we're marching along, man.
It's not impossible. I mean, that's the great thing about vinyl is everybody can do it. Like you just have to kind of figure out the puzzle to make it happen, and it's not hard. I mean, there's a lot of really great companies out there that are looking for that next fresh thing, and whether it's an original character or a colorway on a toy, something like that. I mean, that's how people get started and get their jump into this thing, and it's all about the talent. I mean, at the end of the day, like the toys, the medium, whatever is it is what it is, but it's the skill and the talent and the drive of the artist, I think, that makes all the difference in the world. Whether your art shows up on a toy or on a cigar band or a whiskey bottle label or a shoe or a t-shirt, like it's all about getting your product out there, whether, again, just pushing hard. Even this new digital NFT world, I mean, that's opened up things huge to artists, and it actually makes sure you get paid. That's the best part.
Right. And Jeremy, you just brought up something great right now. So talk about a little bit. We saw that your NFTs are popped up and they're out there now. Talk a little bit about the business and the work that you're doing with the NFTs, because so many people ask, and so many people in the art world have different opinions on how it's done and how it gets out there. And of course, the biggest one is they don't really understand how they can get their hands on the NFTs. So if you want to give a little background to that, because I know.
Yeah. I mean, I just started getting into it about a year ago. I had, within like a week, I had, 4 or 5 clients and people I know call me and they're like, dude, you got to get in, have you heard of NFTs? You got to check this out. So I started learning about it. It's definitely, there's a learning curve. I think it's getting a lot easier now for people to get involved. But I dived in and actually did a really big project for an artist, hip hop artist. She's huge was able to put together a project with her in collaboration with, you know, the guys I was working with. And that really just like solidified my, I guess, drive to get deeper into it. So, you know, just started putting them together. It's, you know, it's all about research. It's learning about what tools are out there, what platforms to release on. You know, that's kind of the technical side. The reality is, you know, I've created art my entire life, and most of that stuff is all digital now because of the, you know, the amount of work I do on the computer. So I literally have files and stacks of artwork, and it's like, oh, I can throw this up on, you know, a little on my object page, which is a platform I use, and, you know, sell it. And then if it gets resold, it's baked into the contract that you get royalties on it. So as an artist, you know, royalties are the greatest thing ever invented. You know, you get paid to do it, and then you get paid every time somebody else, you know, buys it. So that's really the biggest draw for me, you know, is that reoccurring royalty that happens when people buy and resell and trade your work. You know, as versus, you know, vinyl toy, you know, I get paid when somebody buys it from me, but then when someone flips it to the next guy, I don't get a cut, which, you know, I never minded before until I learned about NFTs, where it's like, oh, I can get a royalty every single time. Yeah, I'm interested in that. You know, it's always trackable back to the original creator, which is great. You know, I think it's NFT as an art, you know, in regards to art is, you know, it's a one whole, you know, kind of, you know, world of the NFT world. But NFTs as a technology, I think, is something that is kind of, you know, I remember when the internet turned on when I was, you know, in high school. So to me, this is the next internet. You know, this is the next big wave of how things are going to be done. And, you know, I'm definitely excited to be involved. It can crash and burn, and it is what it is. And I go back to making toys all day. But, you know, for me, it's just another outlet to get my stuff out there. And it's easy, you know, like you're in total control of what you're producing, what you're releasing, you know, the pricing you want to put it at. So, you know, it fit right in with the way I do things already. So it just kind of became an extension of some of the products I offer.
Awesome. Now, do you have that up on your page as well, too, so they could see? Is that also on your page?
So, like on my Instagram, I've got the Linktree list there that has all the different links that, you know, you can buy my stuff. Most of the time, you know, for my physical products, it's through Mad Toy Store. My NFT stuff, like I said, it's released on Object. It's objkt.com. And then I think if you just search Mad Toy Design, it should pop up. If not, like I said, my Twitter and my Instagram, they have, you know, links on there that people can find it. You know, and once you get over the hump of creating a wallet and actually being able to buy digital, you know, NFTs with digital currency, that initial step, once you get through that, it's easy going. Like you can sit there and you can buy stuff from everybody. It's cool. It definitely does take a little bit of research to kind of learn the different wallets and different blockchains and money and all that kind of stuff. But you know, it's a pretty short learning curve, so to speak.
Yeah, all right, that's awesome stuff there. So I wanted people to be aware. Now, another question that people always ask when we have artists are you available for commissions? Can people reach out to you on Twitter and Instagram if you have time for it? Are you able to do commissions by people?
Yeah, so I used to do a ton of custom vinyl. That was like, I think myself and Andrew Bell, another New York artist, you know, we were some of the first guys to actually take these things and paint them and sell them as customs. So, you know, I started doing a ton of custom work through the like 2005 to maybe 2010. And I just had to stop. It was just too overwhelming. It's too much of a job, you know, like I didn't like that cloud over my head. I still do custom pieces, more for myself and then release them. So I don't do commissions, but I do freelance projects. So, you know, if you're a company or you have a project going on, you know, hit me up. for sure. Like I'm pretty flexible and easy to work with. You know, and I'm self-employed. I run my own businesses, whether it's Mad Toy Design or some of my other companies. So, you know, I've got the flexibility to work on projects. It's just the commission world it's I don't know. It just it didn't work with me after a while. Like I had people waiting, you know, a year, 2 years, waiting for their customs. And it's like, you know, no offense, I'm not making enough money to like drop everything and jump on this, you know, custom painted toy for you. Like I've got, you know, a wife and 4 kids I take care of. So, you know, that's, I got to go for the business stuff. So yeah, I don't do the commission stuff as much anymore.
Right on. So
unless
guys,
it's for somebody great.
All right. So guys and gals, you're for company stuff out there. If you're looking to reach out, hit Jeremy up on Twitter or Instagram, and you could get him to do freelance stuff there. And like I said, you know, you're talking to one of the guys who helped really bring this vinyl stuff to the forefront. Some of our like Robots Will Kill and Chris Work and Atomic out of Florida stuff. I'm like, and then you see the platforms with UVD toys and everything else. I'm like, I'm as a fan and somebody who has no artistic capability, unfortunately, whatsoever. I'm so thankful that, you know, that you were able to help bring this to the forefront so people could really get that ability to enjoy art, to respect art, and to love art, an entirely different platform that was never really openly available. And you know, you get to see all the stuff, like I said, you're seeing all the drops now. And when you have stuff like CanBots coming out now and everything else, and all these other people working on it, and Clutter Magazine talking about, you know, here's all the stuff on vinyl. I mean, it's so cool to be out there to not only enjoy, but to be thankful. It's like, hey man, thanks for bringing that out for the next generation of artists to work on and to really have a platform to express themselves and share with an awful lot of people. And you know, we see the same thing going on with NFTs now, where you have that digitized art. And again, you can share this stuff. You look at even the big boys are jumping on. You see the Hundreds is doing it, and Bobby Hundreds and Adam Bomb and this crew. And it's just amazing where this is going. And it just, you know, people say, well, so-and-so is a fad. And then you watch and you're like, nah, man, 20 years later, it's trucking and it's getting stronger. It's getting bigger. And you're bringing, I love the fact that now you're getting so many young people into this foray of collecting and wanting this art, you know, down to have your little fat caps and stuff like that. And Booyah Ghosts and Dunnies and Phase 4. And I think I had you laughed out one day. I almost shit this is a great story, Tom. I told this to Jerry a couple of years back. He had his original Bruce Lee toys in the packages. And I had no idea, Jeremy, that there was like one out of every, you said what, like 100 or 200. There was actually a voice box inside where you hear Bruce Lee saying something. And I literally one day opened the box here. Who shoot it? Oh, yep, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, my connection dropped out a bit. Yeah, this is an oldie. This is from 2006. Ka-ching.
Nice.
Yep. So I was talking about when you cut out about the Bruce Lee stuff that had.
Yeah, it does rattle a bit.
Oh, lost you again, Jeremy.
Yeah.
You back? We're getting choppy internet, but Tom, so these little things open up. You open up the box and had these Bruce Lee figures that he did in there. And all of a sudden, I'm looking all over the house and shit here. I'm looking all over. What the hell is going on? I reach out to Jeremy. I'm like, dude, I opened up one of your boxes, bro. There's like a ghost or something in there, man. This is crazy shit. And you know, this sound comes out of the middle of nowhere, and Jeremy's like, yeah, man. There's random boxes where you open that up,
and it was talking to you.
And it was funny, and it was literally when Jeremy pops back on, I'll tell you, it was either one out of every 100 or one out of every 200. Now, look, I was already not drinking this. You know, this is the mid 2000s already, so I already quit drinking. I'm like, all right, I'm straight edge, I'm clean, I'm not on anything. What the hell? And I'm looking in the box, and it's not the toy. So there was a little thing on the inside of the box that had one of those little tiny pull strings, and I'm like, what the hell? So I reach out, I'm like, Jeremy, dude, what the hell? And he's like, number one, I can't believe you have that. Number two, I can't believe the batteries work. And number three, there are so few that had that in there. So I thought absolutely hilarious. Oh,
there he is. Can you hear us okay, Jeremy?
I'm back. Yeah, I apologize. It's
no
crazy
worries
outside. Yeah, the Bruce Lee figure. So Actually, when you opened it up, he said, "Be like water."
I'm looking.
I don't know if it was clear enough.
Be like water.
When I opened it, I kept a lot of my stuff was still boxed. I was the collector's collector when I was younger. So Jeremy's like, yeah, there's only literally, Amy, what's up there, boo? I'm literally like, there's only, what did you say? Like 1 out of every 50 maybe had that in there. So I'm sitting here looking all over the place. So I opened it, like, hey, it's a chunk. Water. I'm like, Jeremy's a ghost man. You're like, no, you dickhead. There's one in like 100. Have one of those voice boxes in there. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm taking the toy, Tom, literally. Do it again. Meanwhile, I don't know. It's the pull thing in the box. So I'm like, bro, I got one of your things that's got like an evil spirit in it, bro. And Jeremy's like, yeah, that's not what.
Well, it would crack me up was when people were like, oh, is this one worth more? And I'd say, well, not anymore. You opened it, so.
And me, on the other hand, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you package this with evil spirits? I'm like,
it might be haunted.
What is
might
going
be possessed. What was the first toy, or what did you have first that was designed by Jeremy, man?
Some of my first stuff. So chronologically, I don't know if I'm getting it right. I know when it came to the Kidrobot stuff, I'm like, Booyah Ghosts were some of the first things that are out, and the Dunnies. And me, if I'm going in, I'm going balls in. So I have all the collection. So all the stuff that Jeremy made, I had all of it. And I think that was some of the first stuff. The one he just showed you a couple minutes ago, did that precede Booyah Ghosts?
Yeah, this was with Kaching brands at the time, and these were the sharpest sprayers. Which going back to the custom conversation, I had done a set of customs for a show, and I actually created them as a custom first, and then a company saw those and like, do we want to do those as toys? But yeah, for Kidrobot, it was my first Kidrobot was the Modern Hero, which is this guy, Dunny, for I think it was like maybe 2005, 2004, something like that. Yeah, something like that. And then I can't remember how many series I was in.
I have the one with the police cop with the shield. So.
Yeah. So I started doing Dunnies with them, and then actually it was the Ninja Dunnies, the 8-inch versions, which came out next. And then that opened up to the 2 series. I did the Booyah Ghosts and I did the Bent World Vandals, which were all like graffiti gear. That it came in 2 different styles. It was either new or used. So you'd get like the untouched paintbrush, but then the next one was like covered in drippy paint. So it was like it was a really cool series. And then after that we did, I think, the Bent World Beats, which was all music-based characters.
Turntables I have, and right?
Yeah. 2 turntables and a microphone. I mean, I had to do that one.
So I like my music in my box.
Yes.
So I had to own the 2 turntables and a microphone, and I couldn't be happy leaving those in the box. So those are out. They're displayed because I'm that guy. When you hear somebody go, when they go, Matty, this is why you can't have nice things. I'm like, no, I'm that guy. I'm like, if you save that, I'll be collect. Oh no, you took it out of the box and displayed it. I'm like, I'm that guy. Couldn't help
just save the box. I mean, that's what I do. I save the boxes, and I have literally boxes with nothing but boxes in them. It's just because it's if I ever got to resell it.
Well, and I'm that guy. I'm a hoarder. Like, so you have all these you want to resell? I'm like, yeah. Like, but don't you have like doubles and triples? I'm like, yes. Like, so you're gonna sell that? I'm like, no. They're like, dude, you're touched, bro. I'm like, yo, you leave my shit alone, man. This is what I do. I hoard watches, cigars, and hats. Leave me alone. And watches.
Little secret here. I'm gonna go on madtoystore.com in just a few minutes. I gotta purchase something. I got the itches.
Yes.
I'm an enabler, and I have absolutely zero problem.
I PayPal on speed dial.
That's the place to go. Madtoystore.com. That'll take you there. Madtoystore.com will get you there. They can find all your social media there. Is that right, Jeremy?
Say that again. Sorry.
Now, all the links that they need are there on madtoystore.com.
Yeah. Or if madtoydesign.com is my like official page, and it should have links to everything. These days I pretty much live on Twitter and Instagram. So all the links and stuff are on there for all the different projects and places to grab stuff. It's kind of crazy how many different platforms there are. It'll be nice when everything gets consolidated and it's like you can get everything from one place. Someday that'll happen. So.
Well
done. The treasure hunt, bro. It's like I looked over here. No, over here. Wait, over here. Everyone's going with their digital treasure shovel to go dig out the greatness.
For sure, yeah. The best way to get the most current info is Twitter and Instagram. I mean, that's really where I think most people are finding information, and whether it's for artists or news or brands or whatever, it seems like that really is. As long as you're following that and checking in on it, you'll see when I'm dropping stuff. I try to give people a heads up, a few days in advance, but sometimes it's like, boom, here you go. It's available now. Like, grab it. So sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I do get some pissed off collectors every now and then, and it's like, okay, well, got to pay attention.
I go find it, man. Take the digital shovel, kids. Get out there and you find it. And if it's gone, come at me, because I jumped in that shit. You snooze, you lose if I'm in the house. I'm just saying.
I love it.
Myself for the podcast, Jeremy, it's been a pleasure. Awesome stuff, man. And I'm going to speak this into the universe. Hopefully we'll collaborate sooner than later with Matty Rock and whoever else wants to join in on an artist series, maybe. Little hint. Yeah. So, I'm all for
sure.
I respect the grind and beautiful art.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, hit me up. Send me a DM and let's talk for sure. Because I'm, with the amount of projects I got going on, I'm always looking for new people to play around with. So, hit me up.
Thursday, I'm painting live at the Newark Museum.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I'll be painting live there, and just put it out there. So I'll have some pictures and stuff. I actually have two of my friends who are members here at Sanj's, who are photographers. They're gonna document as much as possible.
Very nice.
Very cool.
So you're doing that this week?
Live painting.
Yes, definitely, guys. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna cut out. Blessings to all. Hey, Tom, you're my man. Always a pleasure. And Jeremy,
good to see you, Mario. We'll see you real soon.
Yes, sir. Take care, guys.
Take care, man. Nice to meet you, man.
Likewise.
So, Jeremy, is there any stuff that's going to be dropping in the near future that you want to share, a tidbit or a sneaky peek?
Let's see. I've got a project coming out with Pauber Toys. It's based off my ink ball figure. I've done a few teases of that, and to combine the NFT with the physical world, if you have one of my NFTs of that piece, you actually get into, there's only, I think, 10 or 15 NFTs available of it, but you can actually get one of the artist proofs when it releases. So that's coming. You mentioned the can bots, that just came out. I should have my samples in pretty soon on those. I just did a project with the Creatives trading card series. Nice. They're like awesome little, old school baseball card size. Tons of artists. It's called the Creatives TCP, I believe, is their Instagram handle. Ton of different artists from New York are in there. Great series, and they did a big Kickstarter program, and it's finally dropping.
Excellent. All kinds of good stuff coming in. Again, the place to go.
Much about it.
Oh, you're breaking up again, Jer.
Let's see.
You back?
It's all right,
I'm back now. Is that good?
MadToyDesign.com is the place to find it, or to get to the store, MadToyStore.com is the places, and then Mad Toy Design on both Instagram and Twitter, looks like, both places. Make sure you follow it.
Yep, looks like we're freezing up in there. So, like I said, great stuff. I've been I think you're back. I've been a fan for so many. Like I said,
Oh
the
yeah.
ability to get into the fray, to be able to collect, to be able to enjoy and share with so many people on that platform has always been awesome. So, once again, you get to talk about the artistry of everything else and the ability to share that, Tom, which is so cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's so cool that this is someone that you've enjoyed his work for years, and so many other people that have enjoyed his work for years are watching, and we appreciate everybody watching Cigar Saturday live tonight. Glad to be back with you. I think he's coming back in one more time, so we'll see if I know there was some storms. As long as no storm takes him away, it's just some storms interrupting the there he is. Interrupting the connection.
I didn't even mention New York and barbecue in like the last 5 minutes for the gods to mess with us.
I know.
And again,
can you hear? Am I back? All right. I apologize, guys. This is rookie.
It's all right.
Rookie moves right here.
It's just that storm.
Mother Nature, bro.
Well, and I live out in the sticks. We moved out into the country a few years back, and I love having all the space, but I don't have the amenities of like fiber, internet anymore. So we're slaves to the weather out here. So I apologize.
It happens. No, we've heard everything you've said.
No, we know. Get you down going. You ain't not. You guys are talking about art and food. You're not nothing. I'm the main chick around here. Yeah.
For sure.
She's giving that subtle reminder, like you have nothing. It's me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So guys and gals, all the places now that you can go. Jeremy, like I said, when you're looking for that foray into art, like I said, I personally thankful and blessed to be able to have I'd probably say more than 100 of his pieces over the last 2 decades. I'm thankful that you've brought this to this platform for so many different people to enjoy. And like I said, especially the last 2 years of what the world has gone through and everything else, art makes everybody's life a little bit happy, a little bit more enjoyable. So from me and all the other art people out there, thank you for what you guys do, bringing this stuff to market to bring a smile to people's faces and to make them happy and to give them joy. And for me, that the importance of art is crucial, man. And I think it's part of, our development as people to have it out there. And I thank you, bro.
Yeah. Well done, Jeremy. Well done on all you're doing. And
thank you guys. That's thanks for having me on. And Matty, thanks for the support over all these years. It's really cool and humbling to have fans that have stuck with me for all this time. I think artists tend to kind of work in their own little bubble, and like I said before we came on, like I don't really look back, and it's 20 years has gone by in a flash. It's like, I feel like I just designed that Dunny the other day, kind of a thing. So from the heart, I appreciate it when fans and collectors reach out and send me hey, check out my stash of stuff I've spent my hard-earned dollars on over the last 20 years. It floors me. It really keeps me motivated to keep at it and keep pushing and keep doing things that I think are cool and that I hope that people appreciate.
Yeah, man. Again, we can't tell you how much we appreciate you. And like I said, to know there's other people in the next wave of this. Like I said, you have Robots Will Kill. You have Chris Work and the 4-8 Now dropping pieces and Atomic and those guys. So like I said, because of the blueprint in the ground where you left and are still doing, now we got all this new stuff to see and all the stuff coming. Art World is extremely thankful. Much love and appreciation for coming on the show and sharing everything with us. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, it's good to virtually meet you. Hopefully we see you real soon. And thank you for being with us, everybody. Again, check out madtoydesign.com. And what are we looking at next week, Matty? Do we know what's happening next week?
I think you had the guest next week, unless you're keeping it.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you see that? I have ADD. That's
I think we do. This is a good question. I'm going to look this up here. I think we we do, and we're gonna have to let everybody know. I'm trying. It's wow. Give me a moment. It's coming to me. Okay, here it is. If all goes well, it looks like this is next week. It's Ike Taylor, Pittsburgh Steelers legend, 2-time Super Bowl champion. He has his own new cigar line that he's releasing. So it looks like that will be next week. Ike Taylor, NFL 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Two times. So,
That's
guys,
right.
set it up. We will catch you the same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern. Much love and respect for everyone watching, as always. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll catch you all next week. Thanks again, Jeremy. Hats off. Much respect.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, everybody. See you all next week. Much love.
All right, guys.
Yeah.